Hello, 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 everyone. It's Brenda Douglas, aka Real Estate Diva, and I am excited about this video. I am going to be doing a recap and review of HGTV, My Lottery Dream Home, Season 10, Episode 6. It's entitled Town Bonanza, right? So I'm excited about this because I love HGTV, guys. Absolutely love it. Let me just give you a quick overview of My Lottery Dream Home. This show is hosted by David Bromstad, who is absolutely gorgeous, right? David Bromstad, right? He meets with families who won the lottery, and so they set out to purchase their dream home, to purchase their dream home with their lottery winnings, right? So they won the lottery and now they want to buy a home, right? With the winnings, right? So I love it. You know, who doesn't love a good story when it's opportunity meets opportunity meets dreams. Make your dreams come true, right? So anyway, listen, before I go any further, let me just say, let me invite you rather to like and subscribe this channel. I invite you to also join my I Love HGTV group, where we talk about all things HGTV. This HGTV group, I Love HGTV, is on Facebook, so I invite you to join us. But what I love about HGTV is the fact that the network actually teaches you how to procure, protect, and preserve your home investment. And that is my mission, right? That is a real estate agent. That is my mission, to help people procure, protect, and maintain. It's not just enough to purchase a home. You have to learn to preserve it, and you have to learn to maintain it, right? So that is my mission. And so that's one of the things that I love about HGTV. There is always something to learn. Okay, so I love it. I watch it from that perspective, right? So anyway, in this episode, the husband's friend convinces him to play the lottery. So obviously he's not a lottery. You know, he doesn't play the lottery like some people play the lottery every single day, right? This dude, his friend convinces him to play the lottery. So he played it, and lo and behold, he wins $124,000. Okay, now yes, some people win more, but you know, for some people, when you don't have it, $1 feels like a million. So this dude wins $124,000, and so he and his wife decides, okay, let's use this opportunity to purchase a home, right? And so that is exactly what they did. Listen, if you have a desire to become a homeowner, you want to pay attention to opportunities that can help you reach that goal. Okay, you want to study what it's like to become a homeowner. You want to study how to become a homeowner. You want to save as much money as possible, right? You want to put money into accounts where you don't have access to regularly, okay? You want to increase your 401 or your 403B account, right? Increase it, because you can actually borrow against it. Yes, you have to pay it back, but there's no penalty if you borrow against it to purchase a home. Okay, so if you choose to go that route, then go that route. If not, save money, put money aside and don't touch it, right? The other thing you can do is learn ways to increase your credit score. If your score is not the highest, which is 850, you need to keep working. Okay, because the better your credit score, the lower your interest rates, the lower your monthly payments, right? So you want to learn ways to increase your credit score. Google knows everything. Google will teach you ways to save money, teach you how to manage your money, and teach you how to raise your credit score, guys. And it will teach you how to do repairs on homes, right? Google knows everything, right? So learn ways to increase your credit score. Get a credit builder account. Get a secure credit card, right? Pay your bills on time, decrease your debt. There are things that you can do right now to start preparing. The moment that you decide to become a homeowner, that's when you need to go into preparation mode, right? And the most important thing is to keep yourself motivated, because let me tell you that purchasing a home is a process, right? And that process is different for everybody. Okay, what someone else needs to do to get prepared, you may not have to do, and vice versa, right? So the process is different for everyone, but you have to stay motivated. You have to stay focused on your goal, okay? By learning all things home ownership in whatever way that is, watching YouTube videos, asking questions, just get yourself pumped up and stay motivated, right? And don't just learn how to procure a home. Don't just learn how to buy a home. Learn how to maintain it and learn how to preserve it, right? So I do have another group, Homeowners Are Us. I invite you to join that as well, so that you can learn how to procure, maintain, and preserve your home investment. Anyway, back to the show. So they won the lottery. They won $124,000. Okay. Now, let me just give you a bit of background about this couple. First of all, they are first-time homeowners. They're moving from a 2-bedroom apartment in Connecticut to a house in upstate New York. Now, let me just say a few things about moving from an apartment to a house. Let me see. There's a different way of thinking. When you own a house, you are responsible for everything, okay? And so unlike when in an apartment, when your garbage disposal breaks down, if the plumbing messes up, you can just call maintenance and have them come and take care of it. However, when you live in a house, you have to pay that. Now, there are some apartment buildings that are requiring the tenants to pay all utilities. Well, that's not the case in all apartments, but for the most part, when you own a house, you have to pay all utilities, okay? Whether that's gas, electric, water, you pay it, okay? So, there's a different, so there are different responsibilities when you own a home. So just keep that in mind when you're going from an apartment to a home. And that would be a great video idea. Anyway, guys, so they are first-time home buyers. And like I said, they decided to take this opportunity, take that $124,000 and buy a house. Okay, so then when David asked them, well, where does your price range, right? Their price range is $160,000. Okay, so what that means is they're going to take their winnings, $124,000, and put all of it, including an additional amount of money. And I should have calculated that. Let's see, they won. So they won, let me see. Where's my calculator? Okay, so they won a house for $160,000. That's the range that they're looking at. But they're only won $124,000. So they're putting an additional $36,000 towards the purchase of the home. Okay. Now, let me just say that I've watched the show many times, and what's interesting is that a lot of times when people, what I've witnessed is that they don't put all of their winnings into the house. So I've seen people win $1 million, win the lottery, $1 million, and they may buy a home for $250,000. Okay, or they may win the lottery for $3 million, and they may only buy a house for $300,000. So I've never ever seen an episode where they put every bit of the money, including extra, into the house. Now, some of you will say, well, that's not a good idea. And some of you will say, well, that is a good deal. Well, we don't know their financial situation. I do know that they did state that they are living paycheck to paycheck. Guys, you don't want to be house poor. Please, please don't be house poor. I remember I used to say, oh, I'll just eat peanut butter and jelly. I'll never get tired of it. Yes, you do. You do get tired of it, and it is extremely stressful to be in a situation where you're living from paycheck to paycheck. Speaking of which, if those of you who are living from paycheck to paycheck, it may be a good time for you to increase your income. Okay, whether that means getting another job, whether that means doing a side gig, do something, because when you own a home, there are unexpected expenses. We've already talked about that. Unexpected expenses, that the dryer may start working, the plumbing, something may go wrong with the plumbing, or it may be that the garbage disposal may break down suddenly, right? Well, you have to be able to pay the contractor. Yes, you can find deals, and I suggest that you find deals. In fact, I'm doing a podcast now about the habits of a homeowner. I might do a video about it too, but I may share it as anyway, the habits of a homeowner. You must master the art of finding deals, okay? And what does that mean? That means you don't pick up the phone, call for someone to repair something, and then you take that first one. Same thing with the loan officer. When you're dealing with the loan officer, they may have different points, and then they may have different interest rates, right? So you want to shop around. Don't just choose the first loan officer that you meet. You want to meet with several to find out what their company offers in terms of deals, in terms of the points you have to pay, and things of that nature. You need to shop for deals and start now. Again, if you have an interest in becoming a homeowner, master that skill so that it stays with you. You know, it becomes a habit and it stays with you. Okay. Anyway, guys, back. So they moved from, they are first-time home buyers, and they move in from a 2-bedroom apartment in Connecticut to a house in upstate New York. Right now, this is a place where they would go and visit every summer. Right, they would go and visit this place every summer, so they're familiar with the place, right? So now that they've won the lottery, well, they've decided, you know what, let's just move there. You know, it's closer to family, and we know the area. That's the biggest thing. We know the area. Listen, you don't ever want to buy a home in an area where you just don't know about, you know, what type of culture it is, whether there's anything nearby it, whether or not your kids will feel comfortable there, whether or not you have to dodge bullets. Like, you just really, really want to know the area before you purchase a home there, okay? And exposure will help you do that, right? Drive past the area all times of days and nights, right? During the summertime, especially during the summertime. So you want to check out the area, and you want to know the area before you move there. Now, yes, things change, demographics change, people move in and out of the neighborhood. Yes, some neighborhoods that were once top quality become not. So there are some things that will change, but again, exposure will give you knowledge, okay? So you want to visit this area before you purchase. Don't ever purchase a home in an area where you know nothing about it. It's just not smart. Owning a home is a 15 to 30 year investment. Most mortgages are 30 years, can be even 45. I know definitely 15 to 30 years, right? So it is a long-term commitment, okay? So you don't want to go in blindly, okay? Because in some, you know, if it's a, I don't know if I would call it a hot area, but if it's not the best area, it'll be hard to get rid of the home. There are some people who unfortunately walk away from the home because they can't sell it. It's impossible to sell because people are scared to move wherever they are, okay? So you just want to know about the area. You want to be knowledgeable about the area before you purchase a home. Well, these people knew about this area because every summer they would go to visit there. So that gave them time to get used to the culture, to see if they fit into the culture, and then also see if their kids are happy there and comfortable there. So that gave them time to do that. Plus, like I said, they have family, so they have their network there to help babysit, because the kids were like school age kids. You know, they weren't little, but they were school age, okay? So that will help them as well, especially when it comes to, you know, if they can babysit the kids or what have you. That'll save the money. Okay, so, okay, now again, I expressed the fact that this family was living to paycheck in an apartment. Well, again, when you're moving into a home, you have unexpected expenses. You don't want to move into a home and have and still be living from paycheck to paycheck. Now, no, it said nothing about the interest rate. It said nothing about whether or not they'll be able to get a lower interest rate because their credit score is good or their income is great, right? It didn't say, the show didn't show that. And I guess my point that I'm trying to make is that it is possible to move into a house that is less expensive than an apartment. Trust me, it is. Why? Because apartments increase all the time and they have no caps. They have no caps. They increase $50, $100. Like, they go up all the time, right? Whereas if you get into a house, you get a fixed rate. Excuse me. You get a fixed rate mortgage, and then your mortgage payment will pretty much stay the same for the duration of the loan, which is 15 to 30 years, right? So if your mortgage is $1,000, let's say you move into an apartment and your mortgage is $1,000, right? No, let me take each example. So you move into an apartment and it's $1,000. Well, every year they can increase it by $15 to $100 if they decide to, right? With no cap, right? So every year it's increasing 150, 50, 100, 150. You know, every year it's increasing. Well, that adds up. Well, especially when you think about 15 to 30 years. Well, if you purchase a home and you get a fixed rate, that is the key. Get a fixed mortgage rate, okay? So you move into the house and it's $1,000, I'm sorry, and it's $1,000 a month, and you have a fixed mortgage rate. Well, after 10, 15 years, I mean, well, it'll stay that $1,000 for 15 to 30 years because it's a fixed rate, right? So, you know, the house can, you know, think about that. In an apartment, if it increases all the time, I don't even know how much, I don't even want to think about how much that is. 50 to 100, increase in $50 to $100 every year for 15 to 30 years. What I do know is that you can move into a house, get a better rate, get a great rate, get a great interest rate, get a fixed mortgage, and then pay less than you would in an apartment, especially over time. So, you know, to each his own. Some people believe in staying in apartments, some people don't. So it's just something to think about. But you do not want to live from paycheck to paycheck moving into a house because you have so many responsibilities. You have maintenance to take care of, even including changing the filters. When you live in an apartment, they come and change the filters for you. Now, yes, you can purchase filters from Home Depot, and they're not really expensive, but my point is, it still is an expense. And not to mention cutting the grass, you know, having to buy the gas for the lawnmower. And these are, you know, these can be great and exciting things, but nonetheless, you still have to do it, right? Something to think about. So anyway, be careful not to purchase a home and still be living paycheck to paycheck, because what will happen is, if you can't keep up with the payments, then of course, you know, you lose it. And not only that, you know, it'll be hard to take care of the home so that you can sell it for a great return, if that's what you choose to do. So if you are living from paycheck to paycheck, but you have a desire to own a home, or whether you want to own a home or not, increase your income and then manage your money better, because it just doesn't, I've been there and done that. It is not good to live from paycheck to paycheck. It's just really not good. It feels very uncomfortable. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And then, like I said, increase your income. There is a solution: increase your income and manage your money. Now, when this couple was going and looking at homes, like, one of the things you have to remember is that bigger is not always better, right? Sometimes a bigger home means more expensive, right? Because everybody sometimes, well, not everybody, sometimes people want the bigger and the better, right? Well, that's not always the best thing, because again, it will increase your income because you have more square footage. I'm sorry, increase your expenses because you have more square footage. You have to heat all of that, or you have to run the air conditioner, right? The other thing on this episode is that they bought a house, or they looked at several houses that had a swimming pool. Guys, when you buy a house that has a swimming pool, number one, the insurance is a factor. home insurance is a factor. And then the other thing is safety for your kids. And then the third thing is maintenance. You have to maintain or clean that pool out, right? It can be fun, but again, with owning a home comes great responsibility, right? So they were looking for a home that had a pool. And so again, you have the safety, you have the maintenance, and you have the homeowner insurance, not the homeowner, yeah, the homeowner insurance that you have to get when you have a swimming pool in your property. But again, you know, there's some fun things about having a pool, like having a pool party, you know, being able to go out on the summer day and enjoy the pool, although they were in upstate New York where it's primarily cold. Anyway, to each his own. Also, they were looking for a home that has character. Who doesn't like a home that has character, right? The only thing is, a lot of times those homes with characters have, you know, they're older homes. They have, you know, a lot of the arch doorways, or they may have the wood may have detailed carvings in it, right? You can create character with crown molding and things of that nature. So just know that it can be created if you don't have it. If the house doesn't have it, I should say, right? But listen, okay, so anyway, watching HGTV, it really, 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 really open your eyes to possibilities, including market values, right? The other thing I wanted to point out is the fact that the first home that they looked at, it was built in the 1900s, right? And yes, lots of character, but at the same time, one of the things you need to be aware of is the fact that according to the Environmental Protection Agency, or EPA, 80% of the homes that were built before 1940s, they may contain lead paint, right? So you may have to get a lead inspection, a lead inspection, okay? If you're buying a home that is before the 1900s or 1940s, right? So this home was the 1900s. So yes, they're gonna need a lead inspection, right? And they're gonna be given the EPA brochure that tells them that homes that are built before then, and I don't know if and actually the inspector, I don't think he checks for that. That is a separate one. It's not a part of the home inspection. That is specifically a lead inspector that has to come out and inspect the home for lead, and they just take it and take this little thing and rub it on the got something I'm gonna take something and rub it on the like the window sill, and it'll tell you whether or not the window sills and the door sills, the you know, where the exits are and things of that nature, and it will tell them whether or not the home has lead. And if it is, you know, you have to do the remediation or whatever to peel it off or what have you, or they don't know what to do. Anyway, you have to get a lead inspection if the home is built before 1940, okay? The other thing is that the cabinets on this home was outdated. Now, let me just tell you, because sometimes people, and so were their appliances, let me tell you that sometimes people get bent out of shape about things that are cosmetic repairs. Guys, don't let a cosmetic repairs kill the deal if you really like the house, right? Some things can be changed over time, and in other words, you can move into the house, enjoy the area, and then just work on those things over time. And then in terms of the cabinets, sometimes it's a small fix. It could be that you can just paint it and then change the hardware, you know. Again, don't let small cosmetic repairs kill the deal for you if you love the home, if you love the potential, if you love the community, right? You can customize it. That is the beauty of being a homeowner, is the fact that you get to customize the home and you can make the home anything you want it to be, right? That's the beauty of it, right? So don't get bent out of shape over small cosmetics, right? You have to decide which products are too much for you to handle and which ones can you handle, you know, a little bit at a time, and which ones are you willing to hire a contractor. That's a whole new video, contract, working with contractors. Anyway, you have to decide
how much you're willing to tolerate. But anyway, listen, remember that when you're purchasing a home, you're not only purchasing the home, you're also buying into the community. Okay, so you want to be knowledgeable about the area. You want to drive around all times of days. You want to drive around the different seasons. You want to know what this area is about. Okay, and then remember that homes that are built before 1940s, you will need a lead inspection. Because it more than likely has lead paint, because back in the day, that's what they were using on homes, lead paint, right? And lead paint can be really dangerous and even deadly for kids, for pets, whatever, you know. So, or for you can be harmed also. So you really want to take that seriously, okay? Listen, if you are living from paycheck to paycheck, but you have a desire to own a home, then you need to work on that. Listen, one of the things I've learned is that if you do nothing with your credit, nothing will happen. You have to be proactive, and you have to move on. You have to be proactive and do something about your credit. Like, if you do nothing, trust me, I know, been there, done that. If you do nothing, nothing will happen. So you have to move on, paying your bills on time, and then doing things to build your credit. If that means getting a credit builder account, if that means getting a credit or secure credit card, or even a major credit card. Again, if you do nothing, nothing will happen. If you have a swimming pool, you want to be extra careful about the safety. You know, it's better if the pool is kind of enclosed and have a separate backyard, you know, so you can keep your kids safe and your pets as well. Remember that, look for opportunities. If you have a desire to purchase a home, then look for opportunities to make that dream come true. Again, saving money, and then staying motivated and things of that nature. But anyway, what happened was they won $124,000, and they actually purchased a home. The end result was that they purchased a home that was $155,000. So it was a little over what they won, but I guess they felt like it was worth putting all of their lottery winnings into a home. I guess they could buy it. Now, it doesn't say that whether or not they bought the home all, paid it off all together. That would be cool. Oh yeah, maybe they put it all toward the house, and then whatever the remaining is, that's how much that goes into the mortgage or the loan. They could have done that. They didn't say that. One thing's for sure, though, taxes are forever. Taxes are forever. So even if the house is paid off, you still got to do taxes. You still got to pay the back taxes. Because what I was thinking is that if the home was $155 and then they put down $124, then maybe that remaining balance is what they got the loan for. That's very, very possible. It just really depends on how they structured it. Or maybe they just use some of the $124,000 and put it down on the house, and then kept some money over. Some people would say that would be wise, and that way they can have money for a rainy day. It doesn't say how they structure it, but there's a lot to think about, guys. So, just think about how, anyway. I just don't suggest living from paycheck to paycheck and owning a home. Like, no. Anyway, guys, so again, this is a recap of the Lottery Dream Home Season 10, Episode 6. I thought it was pretty cool because they were first-time homeowners, so they were very excited and just jumping over everything. Listen, purchasing a home is an emotional process, right? So they were excited about everything. First time having a bathroom in the bedroom, like they were really, really excited. And that's one of the fun things about owning a home for the first time, is that excitement. That's something that that feeling that something that you didn't think was possible is possible, right? So listen, I hope that this has been helpful in some way, guys. I think I'm going to do more of these because I learned so much when I watch HGTV. I'm going to do other shows, of course, because I just love
HGTV. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel, guys. And listen, I invite you to join the I Love HGTV Facebook group. And then also the Homeowners Are Us. If you are a homeowner or if you have a desire to own a home and you want to learn how to procure, maintain, and preserve your home investment, go ahead and join that group on Facebook as well. Listen, remember to keep your head up, your hopes high. Remember that it is not over until the keys are exchanged. I hope that this has been a blessing to you. Have a great day.